It's World Osteoporosis Day on the 20th of October, and worldwide, osteoporosis causes more than 9 million fractures annually, resulting in an osteoporotic fracture every 3 seconds, if you can do your maths. 1 in 3 women over 50 will experience an osteoporotic fracture, as will 1 in 5 men. So we're not exempt, gentlemen. You may know that your knee bone is connected to your thigh bone, but how well do you really know your bones? Some of you would have done the Quack Quiz already on osteoporosis. We have in studio with us Miss Lira. It is so good to have you in studio. Thank you for joining us and welcome.
Such a pleasure. Good to see you.
Yeah, you've been around, well, for a lot longer than a decade, but you're about to launch and get into a concept called The First Decade. I can't believe it's been 10 years.
It has been 10 years. Time really goes by when you're having fun. So I'm having this concert on the 29th and 30th of November, really celebrating the last decade. Just looking back, I find I've just kind of been working non-stop, and it just dawned on me that, oh my word, it's been 10 years and what an amazing journey. And to commemorate it, I'm launching a book and really just sharing with my fans what it's really been like. And I think anyone wanting to go into the arts fraternity as a career will have a lot to learn, just how to balance it as a business and a passion, because you still have to make a living.
Absolutely.
So just lots of things to share, and just very exciting.
It has been a fairy tale story, though. Eh?
It's been amazing. I think as I was writing the book, I was teary sometimes. I would think, this is way beyond anything I ever imagined. So it's been wonderful.
Well, we hope there's going to be a second decade and a third decade and more. But talking about decades on, we get to osteoporosis. Now, you don't have, but we're all in line for it. So we're going to talk a bit about osteoporosis now and test your knowledge. You ready for this? 10 questions.
Ready. Okay.
If you score badly, I mean, the whole of South Africa is going to be watching. So
no pressure.
All right, here goes. Pay close attention. Lira, bones are composed of calcium, collagen, and what? Folic acid or protein?
I think it's protein.
You're so right. Well, that was good. First out the blocks. Okay. The main symptoms of osteoporosis are what? Curved neck and shoulders, or a fractured wrist or hip?
It's the curved neck, isn't it?
It's not actually. It's a fractured wrist or hip. In fact, osteoporosis is sometimes thought of as a silent disease because bone loss can occur before you're aware it has happened, and you can be at high risk of fracture even without knowing it. So that's often the first symptom.
Okay.
Calcium is a well-known bone builder. Which of these do you need to ensure that calcium does its job? Vitamin C or vitamin D?
It's vitamin D.
Yes, it is. The sunshine vitamin. Hey, we don't get enough of that, or we should get enough of that in South Africa. Osteoporosis is associated with a progressive decline in bone strength as a result of what, Miss Lira? Fine cracks in bones or bone becoming spongy?
Fine cracks in bones.
It's actually bone becoming spongy.
I would think this, because if I got this, the
curved shoulders,
I would think the bone is becoming spongy, but there you go. Yeah. Another thing I've learned. Okay,
awesome. In fact, the inside of bone becoming spongy and the outside becoming thinner is what osteoporosis really, really is. Porous bone that's compressible like a sponge as opposed to a brick. And obviously the outside of the bone becomes thin, so not a great process.
Okay.
Fifth question. Which of these lifestyle factors places you at a high risk of developing osteoporosis? Smoking or stress? Now, I know you don't smoke, and you don't have, and there's probably stress as well.
As far as I've known, it's smoking.
You're
smoking
so right.
is right.
Yeah, no, smoking is not great. Smoking has been linked to the low bone density in adolescence, in fact, and has a negative impact on peak bone mass, which puts older smokers at increased risk for osteoporosis. All right, sixth question. One of the most effective ways to prevent osteoporosis is by enjoying what? Regular weight-bearing exercise or regular weight-gaining meals?
I would think it's weight-bearing exercise.
Of course it is. Look at you, man. You're gorgeous. All right, about 20% of people with osteoporosis are what? Men or blondes?
Men.
Men? You sure?
I don't see how hair color would have anything to do with it. For a second there, I thought, oh my word, no.
No, you're right. I mean, blondes have more fun, but around 20% of people with osteoporosis are in fact men, and it's testosterone deficiency that's the problem there. Which of these groups, age groups rather, needs the most calcium? Teens or postmenopausal women?
We have less estrogen, I believe, in our 50s, so it would be postmenopausal women.
You are so right, except it's teens that need more calcium.
Really?
That's when the kind of deposits happen.
Okay.
I mean, if you think about it, during childhood and adolescence, much more bone is deposited than withdrawn. So the skeleton grows in both size and density. Up to 90% of peak bone mass is kind of acquired by age 18 in girls and by age 20 in boys, which makes youth the best time to invest in your bone health.
Okay.
So you were right,
but not
on
right.
a question.
Gotcha.
These are tricky questions. Eh? I'm sorry, man. How does your lifetime risk for fractures compare to your risk for heart disease? Is it the same risk as heart disease, or is it a lower risk than heart disease?
That's a tough one. So I'm going to guess. I'm going to say it's the same rate as heart disease.
That's a very good guess. You are right. So, I'm rooting for you. I'm kind of, come on, Lira, you know, hint it, whisper from the audience, please. You know, so no, you're so right. Exactly the same risk as heart disease. And final question is this: which of these annual screening services can detect for osteoporosis? An eye exam or a dental exam?
I'm not sure about this, but just logically, it feels like it would be a dental exam.
Logically, you are so right.
Excellent.
Yeah, well done. I mean, and the reason for that is, well, osteoporosis doesn't cause changes in the teeth. It does cause changes in the bones that support your teeth.
Right.
And obviously with receding gums, etc. So you got 6 out of 10, Lira.
That's not
which
bad.
is not bad.
It's far less than what I expected.
Yeah,
but
I must admit, I thought you would have gotten more too. I mean, I thought you would have got at least a 9 out of 10.
Because that's how I roll, you know, usually.
But you're a 10 out of 10. It looks, you know, brains to go with it. So, Lira, thank you for playing along, and thanks for giving our viewers a chance to sort of test their knowledge against yours. For those of you who did the quiz on the app earlier, how did your results compare? If osteoporosis is something that may affect you, let me encourage you to learn more about it and join the conversation with our doctors now, in fact, by clicking that chat icon on the Hello Doctor app and finding out more. Miss Lira, lovely having you in studio. I will be at the concert.
Excellent. Such a pleasure. I'll see you then.